My name is Tim Carter, and I'm speaking on behalf of LAMP Theological Institute. The founder of the Institute, or he might consider himself a curator of the content of the Institute, Dr. John Penn. He has historical legacies, renowned as a beloved professor of the Missionary Baptist Seminary, where he taught for approximately 40 years. A chief subject being hermeneutics, a primary subject, church history, and perhaps no subject in the school has he not either taught or has himself a degree in it. I know he has approximately 5 degrees, a doctorate in theology, a master in theology. I know he has a language degree, he has a Bachelor of Science in Education. And so he's endeavored in the demands and toil of academic and formal instruction, but he also agonized alongside as the developer of the historical holistic hermeneutic, which he literally developed throughout his years in the seminary with his fellow professors and co-laborers with Christ and pastors, and then agonized in providing answers for his students so that we could go forward and with a repeatable process have a good, sound interpretation because of our knowledge of a process that was historical and holistic, so that we unashamedly include our work in lexicography, in grammar, syntax, context. We don't omit original meanings of the terms. We approach the text in quite a humiliating, I would say, humility, but I don't actually believe that. It's more like humiliation in having to approach a text knowing that the first assumption that would be appropriate is that we're wrong. So he labored and toiled with that. He's pastored several churches in Arkansas. He's made trips overseas, which we have locations here in this actual international headquarters of BaptistLamp.org. That's the website that hosts the LAMP Theological Institute. You can see here, if you could see, this is John and Betty Penn. He without her would not be, and she was certainly and is someone that has been the greater result of his work and success. Several pictures here where it says here, members saw in Hamburg to build landmark church, and it has a rich history here, legacy of faith and family. And in this institute is several videos, if the Lord's willing, we'll present some of the stations throughout that reflect back. So just by way of introduction, Dr. John Penn still teaches students. He's still called upon to help. He provides these resources online, books, and there's not a topic of controversy which he's not happy to apply the hermeneutic and then see the result. He's fascinated with apologetics today, reminding all of us that without a good hermeneutic, you'll have a faulty apologetic. So it's always back to Bible interpretation, learn to use the tools. And it takes a lot of the angst off of pastors so that they have a competence now that results from a large body of work. If you ever wanted to return or go, quote, back to seminary, I can personally say that because of the LAMP Theological Institute, you can go back to seminary, multiple seminaries. The seminary before I was even born, you can return back to the seminary of the founders. You can return back to the seminary of the students of the founders of the seminary. So this is quite a large composite reflecting the contributions and collaborative efforts and investment of time and money, and truly an agony that is known by those who prefer to be Christ-centered in our studies as well as in our worship, and to always be unashamed of the gospel of Christ and to interpret the Bible so that what the Scriptures teach and reflect will be faithful to sanctify the Lord God in our hearts, set Him apart. So as you engage this institute and avail yourself of it, just know that it's a reflection of a curator of content who gave his life. He's now approaching the young 84 number years old, and he still labors, doing perhaps more now with his life. God's using him more now to reach so many globally that literally this is the international headquarters of BaptistLamp.org, and he's quite overwhelmed and rejoicing, rightfully so. So as you avail yourself of this work, you'll find yourself able to be in touch with echoes from the past that are now with us today, lectures from professors gone by, presidents gone by, and to hear the sweet spirit of many of the sermons, and even go through a series of sermons through the New Testament that Brother Penn himself has provided online. And they are as they were taught then and throughout decades as he agonized in laboring on the field. So enjoy this. This is a resource to encourage you, reflect on it, encourage others to listen, and then share the agony that is a cause of joy and gladness to have God's will use your life to accomplish His will. And for those of us who love Him or called according to His purpose, it's quite an honor to be able to share this favor and this great grace, to hear the voices and to share with their agony, and then to look forward with all the opportunities we have today to communicate worldwide, to pastor and such wonderful accommodations that we have today, and to go about with so much more available to us. So enjoy this institute, and know that Dr. John Penn has the greatest interest in mind. It's for the sake of the servants of Christ and for the glory of the God that we all serve. So you have a blessed day and enjoy this institute.